Bombsight, Mason Dai, who eventually appears after his elderly sweetheart Golden Geisha is abducted from her Vought retirement home and threatened by Butcher and company. It's true that Bombsight has the V1 that everyone has been searching for. He has been saving it for Geisha in an attempt to persuade her that they should live together forever, but she doesn't find immortality all that appealing. As a result, Bombsight agrees when Soldier Boy persuades him to give up the V1 in exchange for taking away his powers and granting him the gift of mortality as well as a brief but valuable period of time with his lover. After that, Soldier Boy gives Homelander the dose, which he injects right away. That's the bones of the episode. Still, there's a bunch of meaningful stuff weaving in and out of the story to make it feel impactful. There's one particularly frustrating thread, which I'll get to later, but this installment has enough unexpectedly sweet moments to sell the resolution of the V1 plot. Karen Fukuhara's screen time here, where she isn't merely supposed to spout startling, profane rubbish, truly relieved me. One of Butcher's few genuine acts of charity this season is his refusal to kill the elderly residents of the retirement home when Kimiko timidly confesses that she doesn't want to. The conflict between Geisha and Bombsight also reflects Kimiko's developing friendship with Frenchie. Kimiko too has no desire to live eternally. Frenchie has to acknowledge that. Even Homelander gets a taste of what probably lies ahead of him thanks to some harsh home truths from the legend in this episode, even though it hurts to realize that everything ends. He declares, "I'm not afraid of you. I sympathize with you." That's talent, but it's a fucking crazy job. Reiser delivers the dialogue with his usual solemnity. This is demonstrated by Homelander's decision to spare him. Annie and Huey also spend some time together. We share Annie's sympathy at witnessing Firecracker's demise. We were angry when Firecracker sold her soul and Homelander killed her despite the fact that she was fucking horrible. The show chose not to dehumanize the character. That demonstrates a degree of depth and consideration that has been somewhat lacking this season. It serves as a reminder that we can't venture too far into the dark because there isn't any light there without the characters saying it aloud all the time. As they devise a strategy to use the virus to murder Homelander, Annie and Huey also spend some time together. We share Annie's sympathy at witnessing Firecracker's demise. We were angry when Firecracker sold her soul and Homelander killed her despite the fact that she was fucking horrible. The show chose not to dehumanize the character. That demonstrates a degree of depth and consideration that has been somewhat lacking this season. It serves as a reminder that we can't venture too far into the dark because there isn't any light there without the characters saying it aloud all the time. Conversely, it doesn't seem annoying or a waste of time when Annie and Huey first pause to gaze at the clouds and forget about the horrors that lie ahead, rather, it's just pleasant. These two seem to have been fighting about the same thing for ages. Reminding ourselves of their initial motivation for being together is beneficial. Other than Firecracker, I haven't felt anything for any of these characters this season. They used to be very important to me. One of the main reasons the program has failed, at least in my opinion, is that it has recently been too preoccupied with being wacky, soapy, or shocking to produce these types of moments for the audience. Hey, that's the only one I have at the moment. I'm watching this episode ahead of its release, and you guys haven't yet shown up in the comments to correct me. Okay, I don't check the comments. I definitely need to talk about the deep, but we're pretty much done with the nicer parts. This week, his plotline cannot be ignored since it is so barbaric and foolish. After filming a PSA praising a Vought petroleum pipeline that Noir viciously punctures as retaliation for Burke's murder, the ensuing fish holocaust sends the deep over the edge and produces yet another incredible scene in which Chase Crawford scurries across a beach to resuscitate an oil-poisoned fish named Jeremy. It manifests as a genuine betrayal of the one thing. It's amazing that the deep truly still cares. So, it's time to discuss Bombsight and Soldier Boy. We may know in the back of our minds that Bombsight is at least partially incorporated into this storyline to give us a preview of what to expect in Vought Rising, the prequel series to Soldier Boy. Nevertheless, the episode Boy. We may know in the back of our minds that Bombsight is at least partially incorporated into this storyline to give us a preview of what to expect in Vought Rising, the prequel series to Soldier Boy. Nevertheless, the episode does a decent job of fusing that strategy with the mothership narrative. Dai and Jensen Ackles struggle with the subject matter, but in the end, they persuade us that Bombsight and Soldier Boy's past is significant enough for us to be curious about how they arrived at this point. We also witness Soldier Boy and Homelander argue over their love relationship with Clara Vought after Ashley verifies that Soldier Boy is growing fond of his biological son. After giving his rage some thought, Soldier Boy concludes that Homelander should still receive the V1 since it is what she would have desired for him. That certainly seems to be the case. We find out that Clara used to feel the same way about Soldier Boy, but her obsession was pushing him as far as he could go. Vought Rising will likely try to fill in some of the missing connective tissue, but for now, all we have is Soldier Boy's erratic emotions and the enduring fan theory that Clara is Homelander's real mother, so it is annoying when Soldier Boy switches sides with Homelander once more. This is just another of Soldier Boy's, because fuck them, that's why, statements. Sister Sage's intelligent scheme to control them all, which fails, is equally annoying. At this point, it is quite difficult to believe that her superpower is anything but pointless or a complete disaster. Butcher, good luck with her on your side. When Laz Alonso visits the Legend, he inquires about Bombsight's whereabouts. They need to find him before Homelander does. Legend, who believed they had destroyed everything, is shocked to see that V1 is still in existence. Legend is persuaded to assist by Homelander and Sage watch a test of a new batch of V1 they are attempting to develop back at Vought. The test subject dies terribly when things don't go as planned. Chase Crawford's character Deep enters the room in search of Firecracker. Deep discovers she's deceased when Homelander tells him she's moved on to a better place. He is informed by Homelander that there is no space on the boat for unbelievers. Deep is given a job by Sage to guard an oil pipeline. She wants him to make a public service announcement that the pipeline is safe and that fish adore it. She asks if he is more concerned about Homelander or the fish after he tells her that the fish don't like it. Homelander, he says before heading out. Homelander is informed by Sage that she is unable to duplicate the original V1 recipe. The boys, Homelander, and Soldier Boy found themselves headed straight toward V1 in today's episode, which may have been the show's largest hour to date. It concluded with a choice that might alter everything. This week, we start in a movie theater.